Hi, it's Monica with a new video. We are in a new location. I have moved. If you watched my last video, the part 2 of the little libraries with my mom, at the end of the video I mentioned that I was moving. I have moved since then, and so here I am. I only have one bookshelf now because I couldn't bring both of them. The other one went to my nephew. I will be getting another shelf for these. I don't want this shelf anymore. You served me well. I wanted to record this video today of the books that I read between April and June. I was going to include the books I purchased between April and June, but because of my move, I forget. I forget which ones I purchased, which ones were given to me, because I also had my birthday in May. So I just don't know which ones I bought, which ones I was given. So we're just not gonna talk about those ones this video. We're just gonna talk about the books that I read. And in case you're wondering, he is with me. Luke is here. I can point the camera at him. Hold on. I was not leaving without him. He is my son. So he is with me, in case anyone was worried about that. The first book that I read and finished between April and June was the Book of Lost Tales 1 by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is edited by his son Christopher. This book, I mean, it was just a collection of short stories, really, following this one guy, you know, learning tales about Middle Earth when it came to be and stuff like that. So it follows along with characters that you read in this Silmarillion. So some of the characters, I was like, wait, who's that? Who's that? Because a lot of the writing's dense in here, but there was also commentary by Christopher at the end of each like little tale. I didn't read those parts. I just read the tales and then I skipped the commentary because it's not that I didn't care, I just didn't want to read it. It's not the point, it's not why I read this book. I wanted to read the tales. But if you've read the commentary and there's something within the commentary that you think I should know, please let me know. The next book, I actually DNF'd it, and I also put it in a little library, so I don't physically have the book, but that is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I got 10% into that book, and I never wanted to pick it up. I just found myself not wanting to read that book at all, and so I was like, I don't want to put myself in a reading slump. I'm chalking it up to the book was YA and I just didn't relate to the characters because I'm 27, even though I do still like YA. So it's just not, it wasn't the book for me, or it wasn't the right time. Maybe later in life I will try it again. Maybe I'll borrow it from a library or something. Next book is my second 5-star of the year, and that is At First Bite by Olivia Dade. I love this book so much. It's the first one in the Harlot's Bay series that she's writing. I don't know when the second Harlot's Bay novel is coming out. I've looked on Storygraph. It just doesn't say a release date yet. It doesn't even have a cover yet, but I liked this so much. I love the characters, and of course, you know, the cover is gorgeous. It's Lenny Kaufman who did, where are they? The Spoiler Alert series as well. So I don't like the cover more than all the feels, but I think it's my second favorite cover out of all of Olivia Dade's books that I have. I still have the Marysville series that I want to get by her, but with my book buying ban, I will just wait and see if my family gets me that, like for Christmas or something. So I got my hands on this very shortly after it was released, and I just decided to read it instead of doing it my flip or flop with it. Next book was a collection of short stories written by Afghan women. It is My Pen is the Wing of a Bird, and this, I liked a lot of the stories in this, a lot more than I did with the short story collection of Edgar Allan Poe inspired stories. I liked more of the stories in here a lot more, and you know, reading those struggles and knowing that a lot of these stories are based off of true events or true experiences. So I really, really like this book. I'm wondering, you know, and thinking to myself, maybe I don't keep this on my shelf. Maybe I donate it to a thrift store, or I put it in another little library just so this book can get into more hands and more people can read it instead of just having it sit on my shelf. So for right now, I'm going to keep it, but I may put this in a little library. In my area, there are still little libraries, so my roommate and I may go searching for some one day, but this may end up in a little library just so it can get into somebody else's hands. The next book is one that sort of took TikTok by storm late last year, early this year. I don't remember, but a lot of people were talking about this book because it follows 6 experts and you're watching a like true crime documentary play out, and you're trying to figure out the case and who the killer was either before the experts or at the same time as them. And I thought it was a very cool concept, and I did really, really like the book, and that is called Murder in the Family, and this is by Kara Hunter. When I first got it, I didn't realize much of it, you know, reading through. And even the back, you know, it says that the author lives in Oxford, England. I didn't realize that the book took place in England. And when I started reading it, I was like, oh, this isn't in America. But I thought this book was so fun. I loved following the mixed media styles, how you were reading text exchanges and the transcript from the recordings and emails and newspaper clippings. I thought it was so fun. It made the read go by pretty quickly. So that way, you know, you were just going through it and trying to figure it out, but you were getting so much information. So I can definitely say that I did not realize who the killer was until they revealed it. So I wasn't smart enough to get past the experts, but neither were the experts. As a slight spoiler. All right, the last book that I read between April and June, and actually the only book I read during June, is Heartstopper Volume 5 by Alice Oseman. I read this, it took me 2 days to read it because I read half one day and half the next day because I decided to read it right before bed and I was falling asleep. So I just picked it up the next morning, but I thought this one was very nice. It's not my favorite out of Heartstopper so far. I think my favorite might be Volume 3. Really cute, really quick read, and excited to see if there's a Volume 6, and if there is, where that would take them after. So those are the books that I read between April and June. I still can't remember specifically what books I bought and were gifted between April and June, so I'm just not going to get into that. I know I bought At First Bite in April before I read it. So I purchased it, and then like 2 days later I decided to read it. So that's one I know. I did also get the sequel to the Psalm of Wild Build? It's the Monk and Robot series by Becky Chambers. I haven't read the first one, but I decided to get the second one. So when I do roll that book in Flip or Flop, I will just pick up the second one. But yeah, that's what I read. Let me know if you've read any of these books, how you felt about them, any books, you know, based off of my enjoyment of these ones that you think I would like. And I just want to leave this video off with saying that, you know, anyone who's supporting me, thank you so much. And now that I am moved, I will try and get into content more regularly. I know I've said that a few times. I will try and add it into my schedule just to kind of give myself a routine every week, since I am very far away from home. This is my first real big move. I'll make a video about that soon, kind of going over all of that. But thank you for your support these last few years as I've grown into a new person. Luke and I both appreciate it so much. But I will see you guys in another new video soon. A bientôt!